This morning, growing fear in Rafah as Israel refuses to back down on plans for a major offensive, despite warnings from the White House. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying he told President Biden a ground assault is the only way to destroy Hamas units hiding in the southern Gaza city. We have an argument with the Americans about the need to enter Rafah, he says. But the U.S. increasingly alarmed about what that'll mean for more than 1 million Palestinian civilians sheltering there, and asking Netanyahu to send a team to Washington to discuss alternatives to an all-out attack.
Obviously, he has his own point of view on a Rafah operation, but he agreed that he would send a team to Washington.
The U.S. hoping to convince Israel to take on Hamas with smaller, targeted raids. But another problem underground. Rafah is home to Hamas smuggling tunnels used to bring in weapons like these.
Mortars, RPGs, IEDs.
We went with Israeli forces into tunnels in Han Yunis and asked about their plans for Rafah.
How can you fight there without causing mass casualties of innocent people?
We'll have to find a way if we go there.
U.S. diplomacy coming too late for the al-Hashash family. This is what's left of their home after an Israeli strike. Mahmoud says his parents and 3 siblings were killed. It's now up to him to look after his little sister, an orphan trying to make his way through this cruel war.
Disagreements over Israeli plans to attack the city of Rafah are driving a wedge in U.S.-Israel relations right now. President Biden making very clear he opposes any major offensive in Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinian civilians are sheltering. But speaking in front of the Israeli parliament, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sounding defiant. He says openly that there is an argument right now with the United States about Rafah, but he is determined to go in on the ground to destroy what he says are the 4 remaining Hamas battalions hiding in that city. He also says Israel needs to cut off smuggling tunnels through which Hamas has been bringing weapons from Egypt for more than a decade now. All of this comes as Secretary of State Antony Blinken arriving back in the Middle East today. His trip starting in Saudi Arabia. He's expected also to go to Cairo and to come here in Israel. He arrives as Canada announces that it is cutting off arms sales to Israel. That is causing a lot of anger across the Israeli government. Human Rights Watch and other organizations are urging the United States to do the same, saying Israel is violating U.S. laws around arms supplies. That is an allegation that Israel denies. President Biden has so far indicated that cutting off arms is not a step he's prepared to take. Sanchez, NBC News, Tel Aviv.